Hello, welcome to my channel on Ustream Live. My name is Kathleen Harrod, and tonight we'll be continuing our conversation about family. So this is a family first. I titled this The American Extinction, but hi guys. I could have titled it Black America's extinction, if I wanted to, because mainly, that's like my focus. But so American extinction. It looks like I'm gonna have trouble saying that word all night long. If you look up there, look ahead, look at the board, at the wall, you will see in the first circle there is father. In the second circle, there is mother. And in the last circle, of course, there is child. Because there is a divine order to leadership, there is a divine order for productivity, there is a divine order for family. Those are the dynamics, if you will, of family. I had to grab my little bottle of water there. So tonight, last week, I started talking about fathers, and I want to continue that. And tonight, basically, more than anything, I'm kind of gonna share my story or my experience and tie it into basically what, if you're a father, why you're so important. And I kind of just want to tie all that into just talking about the structure of family. And so I'm going to speak from my experience, because my experience may be a lot different from everyone else's, but statistically, it probably won't be, because 80%, and the number might be slightly lower, hopefully it's not higher, but the majority of us, the majority of families now are born into single parent families. So yeah, your story, quite frankly, may be very, very similar to my story. So, you know, I'm just going to share a little bit of my life. I grew up, of course, my mom and my dad, they were married originally. Um, and so they were married. They got a divorce. They went through a divorce. And so it left my mom to care for her children as a single parent. Now, I know everyone says everyone is doing it now. Everyone's a single parent. And so the reason why I'm presenting this information to you is so maybe my hope, my desire is so that we can stop the trend of single parenthood. So we can see the importance of having that structure in the home, okay? Very, very important. So as I begin to share my story with you, hopefully your eyes will be open and you can see why it's important for us to have that structure in the home. So I'm not going in on fathers. Me and my dad have a great relationship. I wouldn't want to do anything to hurt that. But I do have to come from a place of truth and reality. Okay? So please understand that. I have a great relationship with my father. That's not the issue. But I have to come from a place of truth and my experience. Okay? So kind of etch that in your brain. Okay? So I like to kind of move around a lot. That's just how I am. So, and so you won't get visually bored. But I grew up in a family. There was 10 of us. So I had 4 sisters and 6 brothers. And as I stated, my mom and dad, after being married, they went through a divorce. Like, according to statistics, 50% of married people will. So they went through a divorce and they were separated, and then my mom was left to take care of us, and it was 10 of us. Yeah, 10 of us, like Catholic women used to do. 10, 12 kids, but back then people had a lot of children. But it was 10 of us. So she was left to take care of all 10 of her children, okay? So I want to talk about that because what's important is that we begin to realize that when a woman is left to take care of children by herself, okay, she can do the best job on the planet. She can be an A-list mom, okay? But she can never be a father. Never. Get that in your head. I was a great mom. I was a single parent. I wasn't married. And that's a whole nother story when I had my first child. That's a totally different story. But I was a great mom. I was there for my children. I was at the games. I took them to church when I finally started going. And no, I'm serious. I was a great, great mom. I took them to the library twice a week. I helped them with their homework. They did very well in school, very well mannered. I think I did a pretty good job, you know. But I was not the father. Can we get into our Murray voice right now and say, you are not the father? So because of that, because of this, because not one of these people can take the other person's place, it's important that the person whose place it is, father, fulfills their role as the father. So, as I was growing up, and of course, I'm 42 now, so of course all of this is what? Hindsight. All of it is what? My experience. All of it is what? Things I can talk about now from a grown woman perspective to enlighten you. Perhaps you have young children at home. Perhaps you're thinking about or you're considering getting a divorce. And I know divorce is on a whole nother scale, but really it's not. But maybe you're not present in your children's lives. So I want to share this information with you. Perhaps you can see or realize how important it is for you as a father to be present in the home with your children as they grow up. So I was a beautiful, beautiful baby. Yes. Nah, let me stop playing. No, I was a beautiful, beautiful baby. Born into, I guess, a loving home. My dad was very fortunate. He made good money. So, you know, we weren't struggling in that way. But I guess they were struggling in their marriage. I can't really speak on that because I wasn't there. I mean, I was there, but I wasn't there, like in their marriage, because that was between those two, my mom and my dad. But needless to say, like I said, at some point they got a divorce. I was a young lady growing up without a father in the home, like my sisters, like my brothers, like my can't say like my neighbors because their father and mother were still together. But we did a lot of moving around. That's like what I remember. Because it was, you can imagine trying to take care of 10 children. I mean, I tried to take care of 3 by myself, and it was the worst experience of my life. Like, being a single mom is like something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Okay? So, growing up, single parent home, of course, a lot of things happen that shouldn't have happened. A lot of times, the single parent goes through, I believe, depression. I went through it as a single parent. Sometimes maybe suicidal thoughts. I went through it as a single parent. Not that I ever really wanted to kill myself, but The depression can be really, really severe. And just the whole feeling rejected as a young lady, not being able to know what I needed to do, or that connection with men, or just kind of lost, you know. I had a terrible experience growing up. I was sexually abused. And I know that if there was a father in the home, unless he was the one abusing, then you don't need that father in the home. But I'm talking about a solid, good man, strong man present in the home. Do you not know that there are 289 new cases of child sexual abuse each year? Okay? This is the app I'm creating for my book. Yes, I'm still working on it. Yes, I'm going to try to promote it on Kickstarter or GoFundMe, so look for that so you can support that. But do you not know 289,000 new victims every year? Out of that 298 or 89,000 new victims every year, 40% are less than the age of 12. My next question would be, I know a lot of times, most of the time, and I wish I had my charts out, it's a close family member, or it is a family member. A lot of times it is the dad or someone playing the father role, and or a close friend. You know, only very low numbers, 12% or less, is like a complete stranger. So I believe that gateway is so wide open because we don't have fathers in the home. So who is the gatekeeper? Who is the protection? Who's there to protect the child, the mother? Who is there? So I experienced child abuse, child sexual abuse at a very, very, very young age. I know for a fact that if a father was in the home playing his role, more than likely that wouldn't have happened. Certain people select certain people because they know they have an advantage, especially in cases of child molestation or child rape, because they know that there's no one there who can fight for the child. And they take advantage of that. Another thing was the area that we grew up in. If you have a father in the home, more than likely you're going to live in a house. More than likely you're going to live probably in a decent neighborhood. Well, we grew up in the projects. It was really, really weird because we grew up in the projects. Here I am wearing, like, I didn't buy Jordans because I just wasn't a Jordan person, but I could afford them, that's for sure. So here we were living in the projects, but we were wearing like name brand clothes and stuff like that because my father made good money. Um, you know, he wasn't helping out a whole lot, but he would do stuff like that, like take us shopping, you know. He wasn't paying child support. Hey, Daddy, I love you. He didn't pay no child support. So, but he would like take us shopping on occasion, and we would get like nice stuff or whatever. So, so here I am growing up. I'm sexually abused. I'm growing up in poverty, basically. I mean, at one point, we were literally so poor that we used to go to the dump yard, like the straight up garbage yard. And we used to collect cans in order to buy food and pay bills. Yeah, it was like that bad. Meanwhile, Dad was flexing in a new truck, and he had a Cadillac at one time. Yeah, that sends a very negative message to a child when I can see my dad at 100 and I'm down here at 20%. Like, I'm struggling. My mom is struggling. Me and my siblings are struggling, you know. And I've never been the type to just be like into clothes or shoes and stuff like that. That's just not like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good name brand because it means quality. But I've never been the one who's been like so caught up in material things. What I really wanted, what I really desired, what I really needed was a father in the home. So I do want to I kind of stuck with fathers this week because I really want to reiterate the fact that men, you are crucially important. So, in a woman's life, a girl's life, a child's life, male or female, as you are in your son's life. You know, I played sports. My daddy came to no games. I played volleyball, basketball, softball. Never saw my daddy at any game at any point in time. Didn't even ask, I don't even recall him asking me about a game. I don't even know if he knew I played sports. So everything in life is going to have an impact on you. So we're going to walk through these three little things and discuss them. I was raped, got pregnant through rape, actually. Um, yeah, it was terrible. Like bad. Like the worst life ever. I had to fight. I mean, I grew up in the project, so, to be honest, I've knocked a couple of people out, like knocked out, because I had to fight. So it was really rough growing up. And I know some of you guys are like, wow, that sucks. But it's true. And the point I'm trying to make is that, fathers, you don't know what your daughter is going through. You don't know because you're not present. And even if you're present, you're not present enough in her life to the point where she may feel like she could come to you with anything or with everything that she needs to. My father was not there for me, not at all. In fact, he didn't even know that I had gotten raped, and that's why I was pregnant. He didn't even know that. So I'm sitting out there in his fine car with him, and oh, my daddy, we got a real good relationship. I hope this doesn't ruin it. I'm just speaking the truth, though. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings or anything, but if I just want to share this. So we were sitting out there in the car, and this is going to be truth for a lot of women, for real, though. And I was telling him that, you know, I didn't know what to do. I'm like 13 years old, 14 years old, 13, I think at the time, pregnant. I don't even know if y'all can imagine what that is, because at the time, I couldn't even fathom, I couldn't even wrap my head around it. Like, even looking back on it, it's just like a blah moment. But, so here I am trying to, talk to him. And I think by this time I had already had my baby, my beautiful baby. And so I think by that time I'd already had my baby. But I was talking to him because, of course, here I am, a single parent. My struggle begins. No father in the home. So I was talking to him about, some things that I needed. And he turns and he looks at me as though he had done a lot of great things for me in my life, and he had no expectation for me to get pregnant by anyone or to get raped or, like, I don't know. Like, he looked at me like somehow I had failed him in some type of way. Yeah. And he was like, tell that nigga, whoever he is, that you need some money to buy some Pampers. When I tell you nothing on the planet felt that day at that moment, nothing. Like, I don't even think in my lifetime I've ever, been through or had something said to me that was had such an impact. I mean, it hurt me down to my core, as someone would say on RHOA. Hurt me down to my core. But for some reason, I thank God, he gave me such tenacity. He's gave me such fortitude. It's like God gave me so much. He equipped me with so much attitude towards life. So when he said that to me, I looked at him. I don't recall saying anything. I think he gave me $5 or $10. It might have been a 20. I don't know. I don't think it was $100 bill or nothing like that. But whatever he gave me, he gave me. I think. I don't know if I gave it back to him. I used to be very dramatic. I may have given it back to him. I don't know. I may have taken it because I wouldn't have cared no what anyway. But I got out of the car and I just remember walking back to the door. And as I was walking back to the door, I just remember thinking to myself that um, wow, never again will I ask him for one red penny. And by the time I made it in the door, I probably was thinking, you know what? I don't care how big of a jerk he is or a loser he is. I'm going to ask him for everything, whether he gives it to me or not. Yeah, because I know that's how I felt the remainder of my life. I would call him and ask him for anything. And if he didn't give it to me, then he didn't give it to me. But I was going to ask. So the bottom line is the impact that a father has in a child's life. The one thing was need. I needed him in the home. Fathers, your children need you in the home. Okay? Everything can't come from mama. Mama cannot do everything. Mama cannot take your circle. Okay? Fathers need to be in the home. If I understand there are some situations where you cannot be in the home. What I want you to do is form a strong bond with your child. So even though you're not present in the home, you are present in their life. And I don't mean present in their life like they know who you are and you see them twice a year. And no, I mean create a bond. I mean 3 days a week, every day of the week, pick that phone up. I don't care if it's for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Talk to your child. Investigate. Investigating proves you love them. Investigating proves that you care. You can't tell me you love me if you don't care about what's going on in my life. Every nook and cranny, care. Every nook and cranny, care. Not that laid back, irresponsible, this your life, do what you want to do, that guilt consciousness. I haven't really been there for you like I should, so I ain't trying to step on no toes. If you really love your child, get in there in the nooks and the crannies and the relationships and the feelings and the emotions and the academics, the physicalities, everything, mental, physical, in their life is where you should be, because